Hello, everybody. Tony, the global healer here. How are you guys? So just give me a little bit here. I'm going to share out um, and bring on somebody. Hold on a second. We did have 5, but it went down to 2. I don't know why. um, Hold on a second. Hello.
Can you hear me all right?
I'm going to have to shut this area, so let me try this banner out. Let me say, this is Patrick. Oh, somebody just sent us Cash App. All right, so let's see, how does that look? Do you like that? Whoa. All right, so let me go out of here because I'm going to share. So you could just kind of like talk before we start, and I'll be right back.
Oh, I got a split screen. I got a line right in the middle of me. I'm over here. Now I'm over here. Now I'm over here. Oh man, took away my game. Happy holidays. Thank you, Amanda. Jordan, hello. Merry Christmas. All that beautiful stuff. Happy baby Jesus. Yeah, it was me. LOA. That's cool. Hey, welcome tonight. We're doing some readings, man. You want a 1 card reading for free? Come on live with us, okay? We'll send you an invite and bring you on the screen and bless you. So we're doing all different kinds. It's all in the description. My name is Patrick Sozo. Tony the Global Healer is hosting me tonight, and we're here to have fun and hopefully bring some understanding to your situation and give you some hope and insight and love. Right? I do have my shofar too. I'll be doing that, blowing the shofar. Hi, Maggie. All right, I sent the cash app to y'all, and Merry Christmas to you. Oh, thank you, Jordan. Merry Christmas to you too. I hope everything's going well at your job. You like me, Kitty, in the background, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Got my back. All right. So, gosh, let me know where you're at around the country. That'd be cool. Maggie, where you guys at? Jordan, I think aren't you on the East Coast there someplace? Amanda.
You are not very loud though, so. Are you there?
How's that?
Better. A little bit of echoing there. Is there
I think you may have to turn on your anti-echo. Pennsylvania. All right, Amanda.
Okay, go ahead and talk.
Scotland, Maggie. I think I remember talking to Maggie and Amanda before. Arkansas. I don't know why I was thinking like East Coast, but Arkansas. Very cool, Jordan. Very cool. You guys all having snow and stuff where you at? We were like yesterday we were 74 degrees here in Arizona. Gets like down to 39 at night. So it's like a 40-degree swing during the day. Uh, right. So let me know what the weather's doing. I hope everybody's being blessed.
So Jordan actually paid for $35 for, I'm not sure what he paid that for. So for Cash App, he just did that. So
Thank you, Jordan. So we will minister to Jordan.
just let me know what you paid for.
Hi, Richard. So I was working on another platform earlier. I work on a platform called Purple Ocean, Purple Garden. It's actually two different platforms, same company. But it's funny, you get some questions, and I like to take all questions serious, right? Especially in regards to relationships. But I get this question where the lady's like, how does such and such feel about me, and where's our relationship going? So, I feel like, hey, yeah, he still has feelings for you and etc. She's like, well, he's got a new girlfriend. He said he doesn't love me, and he's cheating on me. It's like, if you know all that stuff before you talk to a reader, number one, why are you asking about it? You already know the guy's gone. I mean, what are you testing me? Obviously, the guy still has feelings for this person, but he wants his cake and eat it too, right? But it just cracks me up. People waste their money. Don't waste your money on stupid questions. If someone tells you they don't love you and they have another person, then that's what's called fruit, right? You have to go off what they say, what they do, and the actions that they are doing. And then you have to be honest with yourself about that fruit. Don't waste your money trying to find out something you already know the answer to because they told you. And it's hard. Acceptance is one of those things of grieving, and stuff. Carla, hi Carla. Thank you. And you have a Merry Christmas as well. Let me know where you're at, Carla, in this beautiful world.
Maggie says, no snow, rain.
No. I guess it got snow up in the Seattle area. We have a lot of family up in that area. In Alaska. And gosh, we got family all over. I have family in DC. I think Tony has family in Arkansas there, actually, Jordan. Did you put down what you want, Jordan, for everything? So Jordan wants everything. He wants that extra meat, extra cheese, extra bacon.
Oh my God.
All right, Jordan, I'm going to pull some cards here. Let's take a look next 3 months with these cards, man. Oracle cards to start out with. I get Shamael. Reconciliation. So there's some reconciliation, some relationship,
Maggie
some
says,
form of
no
relationship
snow, rain.
to start out with. I
Sorry,
get Shamael.
I was
So that's a
sharing.
signal.
I got stuck here.
So Jordan, reconciliation. And then moving on from that, let's take a look at the next month. Metatron. Charisma, some very spiritual stuff going on. This one's got a picture of Mother Mary on there. The real Mother. I mean, not not like Jesus's mom, but the mother that's famous. Metatron, and that's a sigil, Jordan. That's something you can take a screenshot of and meditate on. There's a lot of love and energy. That's the sigil for Metatron. And we're going to do one more for the next month. So you have some reconciliation that's about to happen at the beginning of the year. And then you're moving into some very spiritual, a lot of charisma. The charisma and spirit could be energy too, right? Like you're just going to feel empowered. Okay, Jordan? And then you have Zadkiel, pleasure. So, there's some payoff. You got some fruit coming, Jordan, right? And there is Zadkiel. That's the sigil for Zadkiel. So there you go. That's some good news. I put that around February or something, Jordan. Okay, the pleasure.
Sorry.
So actually, it could actually be the beginning of March, starting in that area. So you have reconciliation for the month of January. You have charisma. You're going to have this energy and this. I really feel like it's spiritual, Jordan. Going to be kicking in February, but you also have Valentine's Day. I don't know, something about that seems to stick out for me, for you. And then I don't know. Maybe there's someone. I don't know if you're in a relationship, Jordan, or not. But this could actually be talking about the progression of a relationship too. Now that I'm looking at it, kind of feel that. What do you think, Jordan? No Chicago, no snow in Chicago yet, huh? Plainfield, Illinois.
That's kind of different for Chicago, don't you think?
Yeah, you would think. I
I
mean, well,
mean,
sometimes they're a lot like the Juneau, along the same line as Juneau. They can get snow or they can get a lot of rain.
well, when we went to Chicago, it was snowed in.
Yeah, it was. It was bad.
Oh my gosh. What I want to know is, Carla, is what happened, hopefully the court thing. All right, so that
Yeah, Jordan, let me know what you think about that and the question about the relationship. I don't remember you being in a relationship, but I don't remember really talking to you about that kind of stuff. So I kind of feel like that has to do with the relationship, possibly. Maybe that's the reconciliation. You have an ex you've been talking to, Jordan, someone that you really care about, things hadn't worked out for this and that reason. Let me know, Jordan. I'm not in a relationship and questions about the winter solstice. I've always experiencing something. Yeah. So I feel like there's a reconciliation, Jordan. Like maybe there was a past relationship. I'm talking about love, not just like friendship. Um,
so it also could be talking about his love and passion for like the star seeds, the galactic, the
yep,
that yeah.
absolutely. So you feel it inside, Jordan, what that means to you. But there's reconciliation, and then there's some spiritual movement in February, very positive. Agape kind of spiritual. That's sacrificial love kind of spiritual. That's what I get because his picture is Mother Mary, um, the
So that's
lady.
a feminine energy.
Yeah, yep.
That's awesome.
Feminine energy, and then moving from the feminine, it still kind of stays in the feminine there with that pleasure. So I don't know. I don't know, Jordan.
It's pretty interesting because I just pulled from three different decks for Jordan.
Okay.
And so, you know how spirit is with that, right? When you, I was like, oh my God. All right. So there's something about letting go. This is the angel deck, and it's talking about something that you need to let go. Although we do know that you know this, but this is spirit saying, hey, you need to let go of whatever it is so that you can move on. Now I pulled from another deck and I got another letting go. So another letting go is like once you let go of this of the outcome, you'll be able to release all the emotional constraints that have held you back in the past. So trust in the higher good and guidance of your spirit, and also only on your best intention at heart, and we'll do everything in our power to protect you. So this is like another deck is talking about letting go, and then this angel deck is saying letting go. So there's something there. The other thing I got was that you need to trust. So there's something that you need to trust, a situation, or have faith, right? But Spirit is also saying that you need to take action. So that means you need to move forward, make a decision, and you need to not procrastinate because right now is the time to take off and go forward. So, with that said and done, I got self love.
Mm.
Self love, that's also got a rose there, also. So, loving yourself, forgiving yourself, knowing that you have everything within you. So now is the time to love, nurture, or heal yourself. You know, that's probably something you need to let go of. Self love is not simply a state of mind about feeling good, it's a state of appreciation for yourself that grows and matures from actions. So you need to take support of your body, mind, and soul. So
So maybe Jordan, that's the reconciliation it's talking about. Reconciling with yourself, self love, giving yourself credit, right? and appreciating your hard work, what you do, you know?
So I'm using I got these cards for my husband, and he's not really using them as much. So I was like, I'm going to use them. So I got the panda totem for you. So it's talking about balancing, harmony, and detachment. So are you being guided to remove self sabotaging to yourself? Again, it's talking about loving yourself, right? Thoughts and feelings, and no longer labeling yourself or others, or take a step back and find that harmonic balance within your life. So, and it's relationships aligning with your color, your core, your value, your embrace the magic of today. So I got the panda bear for you. All right. So the totem animal for you. And then I also got the dragon, which I know spiritually the dragon probably resonates with you. So wisdom, spirituality, and abundance. So you're being guided to tap into your inner wisdom and find your higher purpose. So it says also the dragon says is talking about you have a unique gift to present to the world. So the time has come to showcase yourself and your abilities. Be strong and courageous, and through your transitioning. So that's the dragon for you. It's all like lining up with everything, you know. Spirit is definitely talking. So these are spirit animal totem messages for you. And this is the hawk, inspirational, fearless, and visionary. So you are being guided to detach from and envision your heart's desires right now. So everything that these are saying, you need to fly and have faith and go with it. So you got the hawk also. All right, and I'm pretty sure he wants a clearing, so I'll release some of that because that's what I think I had for the clearing. I think that he was talking to you, Patrick, about it makes sense, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, are you okay?
Yeah.
Did I just drain you with my reading?
No,
Okay.
making adjustments, trying to adjust this and adjust that.
Um,
See where I sit. I want to see the kitty more. I can't see
yeah,
behind.
because you're so tall and big that you block it. All right, so I'm just
Maybe
gonna
behind
send
it.
a little bit of clearing here for Jordan really quick. I just want you to take a deep breath in and out through your nose 3 times, and let me know that you are centered and ready to receive. Okay. Wow, Carla. Oh, so it didn't. Everybody didn't show up. They're just kind of hiding and don't want to get through with this, huh? Wow. So yeah, they're gonna get in trouble if they don't show up. Most definitely, right?
Yeah. Hi,
All right.
Sandy. Okay,
Okay.
Jordan. Jordan
So,
says he's ready.
okay, Jordan. So I'm just gonna send that to you really quick. And if you don't know what I'm doing, it's called a holographic remote 5D healing, where I actually do remote, as in like I'm able to be in the same area as the person I'm working on. So yeah, so I definitely see something in your emotional that you need to release, and I think it's, because we are also in the holidays and all. Definitely, am feeling the loss and the sorrow that you have. Perhaps maybe somebody that you've lost that you need to know that they're with you, love you, and that they're, it's just you need to move on, but hold that love there and just know that they're talking to you. But I'm just going to continue on because I see a deepness in there. And then I also see some sorrow, some deep sorrow, and some regrets there. But you are being released some things here, like light codes and codes. You are moving up to a higher extension. So yeah, so it's very important to do what spirit wants you to do right now. Okay, so I just did some clearing and then also recharging. Please let me know if you felt anything or you felt my presence there or spirit.
And
Jordan?
I'm gonna blow the shofar for you, Jordan. So put on some headphones too. So those that would like to be blessed, this is sound vibrational therapy. This is called a Grand Yemenite from Israel, and I blow it for emotional healing, physical healing, clearing spaces. It's like an angel whistle you can expect. Angelic encounters. All right. Nice, Sandy. Very cool. All right.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
Jordan says he felt it.
Great. So yeah, so you're going to continue on with the energy. It's going to continue to be more intense after I just sent it to you. Boy, it was actually a lot clearer for me to send this energy tonight. So I'm on a different realm. So it's clear, and it was a different kind of energy. So it's awesome. I felt like it was a very high, intense energy. So just know that the next 24 hours you may have more intense with that, helping you with your guides. Okay. We love you and Merry Christmas to you. And also thank you for your donation, your love offering to us.
Yes, thank you, Jordan. All right, so here we go. We're gonna blow the shofar. I also have my ram's horn tonight. This is more of a warfare tool for me. It's really brings in the warrior angels, but we are going to do this also to help to kind of put a cherry on top for Jordan and hopefully bless everybody that's listening right now. You want to take a few intentional breaths, and take some deep breaths and just kind of say, "This is for me. I receive my healing now." Okay, through the sound of the shofar. All right. So definitely put on some headphones. Here we go. All right. All right. The shofar. Shofar, so good.
Oh, Sandy's here. Hi, Sandy. Happy holidays to you. Nicole, I don't know if I didn't see Nicole. I'm sorry. So I'm just going scrolling up.
So I've been. Jordan said he's been seeing some purple. There you go. That's
Purple
interesting.
dot. Hmm.
That could be a spiritual spirit manifesting. Yeah, that's really interesting, Jordan.
Purple is usually royalty or giving you like a special gifting that nobody else has, that you're chosen. It also gives you a lot of love, like you're a royalty, a high priest. So there's a lot of things that that could be, and if it's aimed at your hands, and that means that there is a download for you, as into doing a lot of healing energy on yourself and other people, not to learn from man, perhaps, but to learn from spirit only. So I would go with it and just try to do things. The first thing I would say is to start working on animals, because animals will not reject. They receive. They're not in the way of, the subconscious as people, unless you actually have a person that is not going to put that second, that doubt within you. But I would definitely put that energy. So you would visualize that purple dot within your hands, and you would see it in your mind's eye with the spirit of the energy that comes down. Now, I'm not going to plant any kind of vortex or portals or energy things like that, because whatever spirit wants for that person is going to be a different energy.
That's
And
right.
so colors, I used to get lots of colors all the time, right, Patrick? I would
Yep.
say, oh my God, I'm getting this and this. And I have to wait for everyone to open up with the energy with different colors, until spirit says, okay, I'm done. So I'm just a channel. So basically, I think that I'm not thinking, I know you're opening up to a higher realm, because when I did the scan on you and did the energy, I seen like you're getting a lot of downloads and extending higher up. So I would lean into your own giftings and not get tainted by man things or read too much of things, because that will take away from your own natural abilities.
Yep. Just remember, it says the kingdom of God is at hand. And you
Oh,
see
yeah.
the purple kingdom, purple kingdom at hand. Hello, hello.
I forgot that.
Here's a little sample of Miram's horn. It's a little harder to blow, but it's like really good for calling for help. You're welcome, Sandy. It's a little harder. There's a lot more
So it
firm.
says it happens during winter solstice, and that is because we have moving into the Aquarius now, in which I've been always saying, this is what I said. God sent me and Patrick from the future. We are from the future, the golden age, and all these years we've been waiting for the golden age to become here now, and we are entering into that now. The Christ consciousness, the Christ energy, the Christ love. So I always, people looked at me crazy. I was like, I was sent here from the golden age, the age to come. And now I'm going to say I'm sent here to the golden age that's now, because we just entered into the Aquarius as of the 17th. So you're moving up higher as a high priestess. And so you're getting activations. Now, I don't know if you want to, I was going to say something, but I see like you have something that wants to be
Okay.
released. So like with me, like years ago, when I was moving more into my healing, when we had a healing rooms, I would see people's DNA song. And so when I seen their DNA song, I would hear their song and their vibration. And everybody's DNA song and vibration is completely different. And also the color that is around it is completely different. No one is the same. So when I see like that's out of tune, like a guitar or any kind of instrument, I go to the root source of that, and then spirit downloads whatever spirit wants to do. Holy Spirit, holy angels or Yahweh. I work with many of the. I work with Enoch and Ezekiel and Queen of Sheba, not Shiva, but Sheba. And then, so when I do that, then the spirit goes through me and shows me the tune. And then I go into the root causes and I tune you slowly. And then you're at harmony again. And I could hear your song. And it's beautiful. But it comes with the sound and vibration and colors and light and et cetera, et cetera. So that's how I learned from spirit. It's just watching and observing as I'm a channel. It was awesome. and is awesome. But
Yeah.
now I'm doing it more remote for years instead of having people come to us, as we had a lot of people flying into us all over the world, coming to our little healing rooms that they found out about us years ago. It was fun.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was a lot of fun. So, the biblical explanation of who we are as far as, our ancestors, listen, you're adopted, right? When you get born again, you become, so I am of the order, the line of Melchizedek. So are you, Melchizedek, and a king and a priest of the line of the tribe of Judah, right? Which is symbolized by the lion and the tribe of praise. So thanksgiving and praise, and moving from that idea and information, the knowledge that you're a king and a priest, feminine wise queen and a priest, however you want to think of it. You can still be a king and be feminine, whatever. I don't get caught on that stuff. But the point is that's who we are, and everything in this world tries to tell us different, and not a lot of people even acknowledge that lineage. They
Right.
don't know who Melchizedek is. He was an unknown king of kings that showed up during the time. This was before Jesus. And actually, I think it was during the time, I want to say it was Solomon. Yeah, King David's son showed up during that time as a blessing to bless what was happening. And they think it was Jesus, but that's where we come from. That's some historic stuff.
The healing room sounds awesome. It was very, we had it for over, I think, a little over 3 years. And we had sconces, and we had fire lamps. We had everything in there. We had rooms. We also had a steam sauna and a jacuzzi tub, and we had a war room. But each room, people would lay on cots. So when they come in, they would go to their rooms in a cot, and then we would be coming in there doing healing sessions over them. Now, some of them had experiences way beyond before we came in the room. So they were seeing angels and lights, and they were actually being healed without us even coming in there. We had the portals going 24/7 in there. So we've seen a lot of miracles. We've seen like foots grow out. We've seen hands being, what is that called? The ligaments growing back, some brain tumors, MS, uh, heart. There
All
was so
kinds
much.
of knee,
Uh,
knee
uh,
healings. Watch knees literally swollen up like a grapefruit, just shrink right back down to normal right in front of
and
our eyes.
another thing too is people always say, because I used to have it happen. I went for a season where it happened again last year, but I would have sapphire dust or gold dust or silver happen all over me. And that would happen to some of the people that came into the healing rooms.
When they get
And
oil, they get oil too that smelled like frankincense coming from their palms.
yeah. And then another thing too is we had a little girl that came in there. I think she was about 10 years old. She's in a wheelchair. She had some kind of
It's
what is it?
quadriplegic is what they call it.
Yeah,
Quadriplegic.
wanted I can't say it, but so she came in there, and she looked up all over, and she's like, angels, angels, angels. And then she got out of her wheelchair, and she like went down the hallway and said, she didn't walk, but she was moving, and she doesn't do that.
She
And
crawled down the hallway, and they're
yeah,
like, she never did that before. We were hoping for a full-on miracle where she get up and walk,
yeah,
but it was still pretty incredible because
yeah.
such an innocent soul, and she was just looking at the ceilings and smiling. They must have been
I know.
smiling,
And I was like, oh, I don't. Anyway,
waving at her and
she
stuff.
had a miracle. Actually, after we closed down and stuff like that, she did have quite a bit of more healing in her brain and all that stuff. But it was amazing. That experience, that alone was like, whoa. And then the Indian tribes from the different places, the islands came over to get healing and all that stuff. So
Yeah, I'll tell that. So Tony's talking about one of the chiefs from the local tribes right outside of the southeast Alaska where we were at in Juneau. came in with his family, kind of a small entourage, but he had sliced a tendon, in a hunting accident or something that had, been pulled back up his arm. When those things, they retract, they're like elastic. So it was a total sever. He could not move his pinky. Hadn't been able to move it in years. And within 30 minutes, he was bending his pinky, which he had never done. So it had been reattached. I had another. That was Tony did that. We
Well,
had
I
a
didn't even
we had
know.
a chair in the middle of our war room. The war room was our prayer room, right? So when you looked at the place from the front, it was in a small strip mall. There was a tanning area to this side of us and a private bar to this side of us, and we were like 1,500 square, about 1,000 square feet, right in the middle. That used to be a spa, like a massage place. So you have a entryway, which was really nice. We had like a foyer, and then you go back through the door down a hallway, and you have a massage room, and then our war room, and everything was beautifully lit, delicate, and like lavenders and purples, and with the sconces were made out of shells, seashells, beautiful. And those were already there. Everything was pretty much there except the paint job that we did. And then the war room, we put like a laminate down, but before we did, we put all kinds of blessings and Bible verses about healing and all
Well,
kinds.
we had a lot of light codes and symbols that we put on the
Yeah,
floor.
I mean, we just used all that kind of energy, right? Because there's
Yeah.
energy in symbols. You see me
So
using
it,
sigils sometimes. Those are energetic shapes.
so yeah, it kept an open portal all the time of the spirit realm. So no matter we didn't have control of whatever happened, but you know what? When God or spirit comes in there and heals the person that's waiting for us to come in the room before we get in there,
Yeah,
then that's good because we're just we're not like the person that we're just being there as an empty vessel. And so like I that's where I go. With my two near death experiences that I had, it opened up my healing capability and other things. And I could go to that place where I went for my near death experience. And that's how spirit works through me to be able to do what I do. I guess I'm a little odd, a little different, but, with all the experience from that, it opened me up way more than what I was before. So,
yeah.
yeah.
We had one instance where a lady came in and she has had a corrective shoe. I kid you not, it was like 3.5 inches. It was quite a deficit. And
Mhm.
she had her shoes on when she came in. Obviously, the one side was like a 3.5 inch, you know, to make up for the height. So she sits down at the chair, and I'm like, oh my goodness, because I happen to be the one in front of her on the floor. Everybody else is sitting around on the wall. We have chairs all the way around, real intimate lighting, these fire lamps up, and the presence of God was really strong. And so I'm thinking, I do not have faith for this God, and it was like this. And I lifted up. So she's sitting in the chair facing me, and I'm on my knees in front of her, and I lift up her feet, and I feel the one leg before I see it pop out an inch. Yeah, an inch past what was the long leg. So it literally popped out like 4 inches, took my breath away. And the lady didn't feel it. She didn't even know what was going on, but she could just see the look on my face. I was like,
I know.
she was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Nah,
Scared.
foot down, right?" And I'm thinking, God, she don't have a corrective shoe for her long leg, so I lift her legs back up. What was now short, which was long, popped out the inch. She left an inch taller carrying her medical shoes. I didn't pull on her legs or nothing. That was strictly all spirit. I mean, everything that happened, it just like I don't know if he had a bone or what. But it was amazing. It was very cool.
Well, with all the things that we experienced, we seen a lot of people. Back then, we called it something different, which I'm not going to say, but now we realize what it is. That's why I am able to do what I do with the soul ties, the cords, the generational thing, the identity attachments, etc., etc. Because before we did something and we've seen a lot of people, healed from attachments and soul ties. So I think we did over 3,000 or more.
Yeah, over
Of
300.
those. But before we didn't know what it was. It's just now we do exactly. And so yeah, we've seen a lot of amazing things, a lot of miracles, signs, wonders, or whatever. We're not Christian or religious. We are just passionate in love, and we are forgiving and giving, and we work um, within what we're called to do.
Yeah, I mean, I love Jesus, but I don't love Jesus in a Western churchianity kind of way.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
So
that's my
a lot of
own thing,
people,
you know.
a lot of
So
people have the Christ consciousness, the Yahweh, Yeshua, Amashika is what I call Yahweh. I don't. Sometimes I have it's a hard time for me to say Jesus because Jesus is actually not his real name. So, but yeah, I work with also Buddha, Buddha's energy and whatever else with spirit only. We can go into the angels. Now everybody looks at angels as in like beautiful fairy things. But when you have a near death experience and you get to see that level, the angels will scare you. And so they come here out of respect to not scare us. So they come in the image of what we would like them to look like. So but just know they are not these beautiful beings that everybody thinks.
but
Now,
yeah, there are those kind of angels,
there is.
but there's also very fierce looking. We used to have. I had two specific that really. I don't know if they were just assigned to me or both of us, but they would stand outside the healing room. We had a picture, and you could see two lights on each side of the healing room's door. And
Yeah,
but
and
you only could see them, and one of them had the head of an ox. I mean,
yeah,
these things were like 8, 9 feet tall. The other one, what was the other one's head like?
it had like faces all around it.
Yeah, it had four faces. It has that right out of I think Ezekiel or something. But these guys were not something you want to mess with. We had listen where we were dealing. We were in a federal town, right, a state capital there in Juneau, Alaska, and unfortunately, there's a lot of dark light there, right? A lot of manipulations going on,
You
and
need to read what Jordan
we
said.
needed protection. I mean, they were trying to kill us. They cut our brake lines. I kid you not. This happened. Okay. I mean, and every time there was miracle. Finally, God just killed them. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, God just took them out. Not we didn't. I didn't ask God to do it, but we found out, through some friends.
The thing is like if
It was hardcore, man.
the
And I'm
thing
like,
is like if there's a dark energy or whatever that's trying to stop the light workers for their calling, and they're messing with certain people, then we don't have to deal with it. We just send it back or send it to um, where Holy Spirit or God to deal with for the way that they want to. And so people that come against us, some of them actually didn't survive. So
I mean, they were doing some bad stuff. They were trying to kill
yeah,
us. So,
yeah, it was
but,
pretty bad.
but God took care of that. I mean, like I said, they tried to take out my tires. They cut our brakes. They
What
did
did
all kinds.
What does Jordan says? Do you remember when we first met each other? I used to be more connected with everything. Now it's different. Certain things I used to do, I can't do anymore for some reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've developed. You've
yeah. You
ascended,
extend, you
right?
extended, and you're opened up to more realms, and so like you're being placed. So like if you can't do something or you can't see something, that's because right now you're moving into a different portal, different vortex, a different level into your giftings and openings of your third eye. So yeah, so it's stages. I always say like we don't have just one awakening or anything like that. We are constantly awakening. We
Yeah.
are moving up. Once we get comfortable, that's it. Oh, we're ready to go up higher.
And Jordan, that reminds me. You talk about not being able to do stuff. We had this lady come in right when we were opening the healing rooms. Yeah, light
Absolutely.
always prevails, Sandy. And we hadn't even started ministering to anybody, but we had been have worship music. We were praying there all the time, and so she came in to see it. She was from the local halfway house. She was a minister for the women at the halfway house, and we took. She was a Methodist, and she comes back, and we're in our war room stand. We prayed, just kind of bless her. How you hold hands, three of us, and just pray. Real innocent, loving prayer. Well, she got stuck. Her feet were on fire, not in a bad way, but I mean, it scared her, but she couldn't move. We left her there. We didn't know what to do. She didn't fall out. She just could not move her feet. And they were on fire, and God was doing something in her and wanted to make sure that he finished whatever he needed because she didn't come back. But bless her heart, she loved us, but she scared her. It scared her. But God
Yeah.
did something for her heart and empowered her, gave her an attunement, or what some people would call an impartation, that she was able to use in her ministry, dealing with broken women who are being battered. That's who she ministered to.
Yeah, and another thing too, she says between levels, Sandy. So yeah, and between levels, there is I call them, people call them chakras, and I was like, what is chakras? But I realize now what they're talking about, but before I would call them vortexes or portals, you know. And we have main ones, and then we have thousands and thousands of little portals within our body, vortexes, like the galaxy, like, there's the sun and there's the moon, and then there's different planetaries and stuff like that. But then we have all these little star planets. So it's like that's what our body is. And we have just main ones. We have just the 7 portals or vortexes in different levels within that. But once you get past the 7th one, it goes all the way up to 33. So that's where I go up. I go all the way up to 33 when I start doing healing on people. And there's different colors. There's silver. There's colors that don't even exist on the planet here on Earth. But there's colors. I try to do my best to explain them, and there's different vibrations and frequencies. But then there's the silver. There's the silver one, and there's the fuchsia one, and then it goes all the way up. And I just call it like a ladder. So the 7th one is not the only one. You need to tap into get all the way up to the 33rd, right? But yeah, you could do it. It's a lot of learning on that. But if you look it up, maybe, I don't know. I haven't really found too many people talking about it, but maybe there is. I don't know.
Hey, can you take me off for a second? I'm going to go get something to drink. I forgot my water and everything. When I'm
Oh,
live.
you're going
I'm
to
like,
leave me alone?
unparched on Sozo Thursday.
Yeah, hurry up because I got to use the ladies' room here.
All right.
Okay. Then I have to change this because I'm like over here now. Hold on a second. That's what happens. I gotta fix that. Okay. All right. So, anyways, we didn't just come on to talk about all this stuff, but it's good for people to know and stuff. But we are doing readings, intuitive readings, healing, rebalancing, all that stuff. So just know that we, are yes and no questions, et cetera, et cetera. So I know Jordan, he started out, he gave us a beautiful $35 for a reading, clearing, etc., and blessed us with that. Yeah, so just let me know if you gave or anything like that. So, all right. So, okay, it makes sense now. The level I used to be at. Let me put this up here. Okay, yeah. It makes sense now. The level I used to be at, I was able to feel energy and read minds well sometimes now, even when I tried it, I can't anymore. You will be. Another thing too is just know that when people get used to one way, then spirit will open up a different way. So people sometimes are used to going off of their third eye when actually spirit wants you to go off of your solar plex. So spirit goes through your solar plex, or spirit goes off of your third eye. So there's different levels and different understandings. That's what happened to me. Is we need to get out of that mindset, like just keep an openness as in like an empty cup, or go into a vision of a no place vision, like visualize as in going into an elevator and moving completely up into the atmosphere, into the universe, and then floating there like there's no time, no space, and then the spirit will use you. But when we try to control it, or when we know it, spirit will mess it up for us, or we're moving into a different dimension and different portal, and we're going through things that we have to go through for learning. And so sometimes we're like, where are you? I can't feel you. I can't see it, or whatever. Just know that you're downloading or and learning, and that you're going to, when you get all balanced and everything's lined up, and then there's the neurons that start opening more, so the new ones for activations, then you're going to start opening up a new gate, and that means a new realms, a new energy, a new portal, a new guide. We don't keep our same guides. Some people think that we keep our same guides. So we are sent with some guides, and then we move up to different ones. After we graduate from one thing, we are actually, the guides are done with us. So that means we are to get a new set of guides. So when you're going into this whole transitioning, we move up to other guides and also angels. So, and also avatars, and, our galactic family, and et cetera, et cetera. So we don't stay with the same old same. And I know that people may disagree with that, but if they haven't experienced near-death experiences, and they haven't had to have that experience on the afterlife and seen other things like that, then they probably shouldn't say anything, because people who have experienced that have more of a opening of how to teach it, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of levels, a lot of different things that people are just not aware of. And it's like, you find it that there's a lot of people that are stuck in tradition or methods. And once you get there, you stop learning, and you stay in the same old portal, you stay in the same old energy, you don't grow, kind of thing. But if you are open and willing, and then spirit will download a new thing. So there's a lot of different things that we need to, teach in other people, because people get into the same old as traditions. So they learn from another man, and they learn from another person, and they learn from another person, and they learn from a book, and they miss out on their own giftings, and they miss out on their own abilities into moving forward. So yeah, that's why spirit always kept me away from methods, always kept me away from traditions, kept me away from learning books for years. Don't read books. Don't learn from man. I directly had to learn from spirit, and I had to learn from the near-death experiences that I had. So with all that said and done, now I'm 52. My husband's having a birthday here in the next week or so. He's 1 year older than me. So this all started when I was 5 years old, and then all the way up to now I'm 52. So I have a lot of experience. I haven't really talked about it, and I guess it's time to start talking about it, et cetera, et cetera. I guess I'm going to start having a class, an impartation classes where people pay for a monthly subscription and get an impartation and learning about a lot of my giftings and the energy, and then an impartation from where I get it from, I guess. So, but although I'm not supposed to teach yet, or I'm not supposed to learn. So it's up to spirit to say, okay, let's do it. Okay. All right. So it looks like we went down to 3 people. Let's see how long we'll stay on. Let us know if you paid for a reading or if you want to come online with us to have a free. Hi, Patrick.
How we doing?
Are you going to play something?
Yeah, I'm just gotta get it tuned up a little bit, but I just thought I'd do a little music while we're waiting.
Maggie said, oh, let's see. Welcome to Learning and Healing. Yeah. Yes, keep talking about it. Keep talking about it, Maggie said. So yeah, I haven't been really released to talk about a lot of these things until I don't know, I guess just now. So but there's people call them activations. I call them impartations or activations. So whenever spirit says to start doing a class to impart whatever, you know, that's something I have to wait for. But
So that's something to talk about. What is entombment or impartation, right?
so I just did. I already talked about it
Oh,
when you were
you went through that. Okay, good. Yeah. So, it's a
you could
transfer
go
of
ahead.
power, right? It's a transfer of power.
Yeah, but you could go ahead and you have a different way of explaining it than I do. So I'm gonna use the
So, yeah, impartation, what Reiki people and people like in Shafa and stuff also call entombment, is when there's a transfer. It's when our ceiling as spiritual practitioners, okay, everything that we've accumulated, we've fasted for, we've paid a price, okay, because a lot of these things come with a price. But guess what? You don't have to pay that price except for whatever the class is, and learning the class is to get you in a place so that you can receive and understand what you're receiving, right? Because if you get a gift and you don't know how to use it, right? So it's kind of to gear you up, to build you up in confidence. And there'll be a witness when you receive an impartation, an attunement, and an activation, as Tony would call them. There will be a witness in your heart. You will feel it in your body. I mean, there is sometimes people fall out, sometimes there's all different kinds of physical manifestations that happen, but the point is it's real. Tony's third eye activations are incredible, and just getting ministry from us, you get intuitiveness. People come away with gifts. People are like, wow, I'm starting to do this now. I'm starting to remember dreams, or I'm starting to see colors, or I see angels now. I'm seeing orbs, or all these different things that they didn't notice before that have always been there. But it's like your awareness is heightened, right? Your eyes are open. There's a story in the Bible that talks about Elijah and Elijah, right? And they're sitting there, and there's a massive army that's facing them. And or it was just Elijah. This was not anyway. So they're there, and it's pretty frightening. And but Elijah's totally calm, and his servant's like, "Are you crazy? Look at what we're facing." And he asked God to open up a lot, his servant's eyes, and his eyes were open, and all of a sudden, on the hilltops, all the way around the valley, were angels, warring angels. And let me tell you, is not a good day for the enemy that day. If you think about one angel can take out, this is just, what you can find as far as documented, hundreds of thousands of men. Easily, one angel can do that. So you imagine having a whole army that's, around, that's pretty intense. But Angels have a sense of humor. God has a sense of humor, and the sense of what you think. Um, Holy Spirit has a personality, right? That I believe that God has a good sense of humor. I don't think love is in a bad mood, right? And then unfortunately, there's a lot of negative stuff that happen and a lot of stuff going on in karma, right? People's lives. Jesus even talked about past lives. He talked because John the Baptist was Elijah. He said that in Matthew 12. Believe me, I'm a studied person. I studied Aramaic, Hebrew, Greek, all that stuff, so I could find the foundations. And I really got into all that, through that whole thing. I had a paradigm shift in the desert, literally here in Arizona, outside of Fountain Hills, in the desert. No exaggeration about that at all. Lost everything, but gained an insight through that. And when you receive an impartation from us, that's what you don't have to go through those hurdles. All of a sudden you get next level, man. Right? It's like a video game when you pick up one of those rewards and all of a sudden you got a higher power gun, or shields or whatever. Right? That's what an impartation or an activation is. So some people get a little activation, attunement, impartation crazy. Like, we were for a little while, we'd fly all over the place to get in front of these spiritual leaders, have them pray for us, man. People that seen dead people right in. I've seen that. I've prayed over a person that was dying. I've prayed over dead people and not have anything happen. Unfortunately, my dad. So I've paid the price with my faith. In a lot of ways. And so those, and that's fruit, that's beautiful fruit. Like I tell people that '08 was beautifully horrible or horribly beautiful. 2008, man. So, and really 2009 is when the paradigm shift happened. That was when the start. That's when, all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. You probably, yeah, because we're probably all part of a soul group. Anybody that's on, even chatting, Maggie and Sandy, and we were probably knew each other in other lives. But I also believe this whole born again thing with Christ and the light of lights, right? The morning star and everything gets us out of the karmic circle. And it talks about that even in the Buddhism stuff. Talks about the man coming is going to be pierced. Talks about Christ in the Buddha writings. I kid you not, it's there. And how he will take you right to nirvana. And believe me, we had nirvana manifesting around us. Okay, you could see it, white mist. It's called the glory of God, the Shekinah glory, the feminine side of God, really. And it manifested in the Bible. And is it fierce at times? But we had it manifested. I mean, you could see it. You could walk out of the war room, turn around, and look back in it. Right at the doorway was a white mist that filled the room. And as soon as you walked through it, it was like breathing pure oxygen. It was beautiful. Everybody was either smiling, laughing, drunk on new wine. New wine is spiritual wine. And you want to make sure when you're asking for that joy unspeakable and full of glory that you get a new wineskin first. You know what I mean? That means your paradigm, the way you think, expectations, all that stuff. You need to make sure you're ready, because you put new wine in an old wineskin, an old ideology, right? It's going to break. It's going to ruin. It's not good for the person, really. So it's good to get prepared for that kind of stuff. And we were having it happen. People would laugh. They would laugh for hours. I'd go to the store after the healing rooms. We had a janitorial company too, right? And we'd go clean afterwards. I mean, we'd go to like 11 to 12 at night. People didn't want to leave. We'd start at 6, 7 o'clock, and they'd be there. It was all free. We never charged anybody. And so we go to the store afterwards, be like 12:30, 24 hours, Fred Meyer's or Safeway or whatever. And people would be there and standing in line in front of me and behind me, and everybody would start laughing. They'd start giggling. They didn't know what was going on. Nobody was talking to each other. It just wasn't a presence around me, and it was so much fun, man. But because people would end up, I kid you not, within a few, like a couple minutes, because there'd be the person in front, two or three people in front, and it'd start saturating everybody all the way the teller couldn't even hardly bring us up. Most of the time we get up there, and they're like, I don't know why I'm laughing. What is so funny? And they were just crying. They were laughing so hard over nothing. Of course, they're probably laughing at the other people laughing because once it starts, it's contagious. And the Bible says that laughter does the body good like a good medicine. It's in Psalms, I believe. It's beautiful. I love that, that purity, that joy unspeakable and full of glory, to be so in the presence of love and light that you can't get off the ground. See, the word glory in the Bible, when it talks about the Hebrew, not just the Bible, but I'm talking about the Tanakh, the Torah. The word glory in the Torah means weightiness, the goldenness, gold. And Tony talked about signs of gold dust showing up on earth. I seen it, and I had it happen myself too. And sapphire dust, that's signs of the glory, because in the word glory, the Hebrew word glory is pregnant, and it talks about gold and heaviness, weightiness of God. And believe me, when God, when love's in the house, you can't even hardly get off the floor. We used to have the children pray, and they'd be running around laughing, drunk in the spirit, and all the adults were stuck on the floor because their faith was so strong. Their sincerity was so strong as children that the love, it just took over the room, took over the room. And it was beautiful. And anyway, Tony, you want to say anything?
No, I just remember the time when Spirit came to me and gave me a name, a spiritual name. Is that what you did? Did you talk about that? And I didn't know what it was until I asked you. And then we found out it was the mother side of God, the Shekinah presence. So I was named Shekinah, and then our Shekinah, the Shekinah mother side of God, uh, years ago, and then so that's our spiritual name. And then my husband at another time got Ben. What is it called?
So Shema Ben Yahweh. So as we were at this place in Toronto, Canada, where there was an outpouring of the Holy Spirit that's just, it was crazy. It was awesome. And this brother that I never met before came up to me because they had meals there, right? This big facility. So they had like a cafeteria kind of area. And he sits down next to me, and these are really, it's a Christian world, but we're talking, man, people were shaking and baking there. There was such a thick presence of God. We had took a picture. You talk about orbs. An orb covered our whole camera. You couldn't even see through it, but you could see all the faces and like lions, and they covered our whole camera. I mean, literally said my eyes were open there. I was seeing colors and all kinds of cool stuff. But he's like Ben Yahweh. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you
So
mean? We had talked the day before, I think, about my last name. My last name is
no.
pretty abrasive, and it was tough. It's kind of like growing up with a boy named Sue. Okay, and I kid you not, there's no exaggeration to it. And he heard about it, and he came to me the next day and said Ben Yahweh, which means son of God, right? And then God gave me Shema, and I like through prayer, and I got the word Shema, and then it was like Shema Ben Yahweh. That's your spiritual name. So she was Shekinah Ben Yahweh. I'm Shema Ben Yahweh, which means to hear the Son of God, and hers is the
Yeah.
glory of the Son of God.
And we gotta say, Maggie, thank you for staying with us. It's like 4:30 in the morning. Thank you for staying with us. Jordan says, "Hey Patrick, what was your past life like?"
I've never really done any regression myself. Believe it or not, I do past life regressions for other people, but I know I was spiritual. I also did some probably pretty bad stuff back in the Roman times. So I probably wasn't on the right side when Christ was around. um,
For
I
me,
don't
I
know.
seem like
I would like
yeah.
to have that done and see and take a look, but I just never have.
but I think I told you though, because I could see people's past life, right?
Yeah, Tony can see past
So
lives.
I told you that I seen that you were a part of what was it? The Romans.
Yeah, you see me laying back eating grapes.
Yeah, yeah, as some kind of king or something. And then another thing too is that I seen him as a medicine man, an herbalist, and in the dark medieval days. So he was pretty persecuted for what he was doing, but and then a like a mad scientist or something like that too. So I've seen several of what he was, but yeah. So yeah, I guess we're here. We're if you guys are wanting a reading from us, intuitive reading, um, I could see past life and I could see intuitive stuff, and I'm also like a medium. My husband says, and yeah, I'm open to everything. So we are here waiting to do readings. And just for a little bit longer, we're gonna probably not go past 10. So, because we need to eat.
We also
I
bring in
forgot
level
what,
3 and do a 1 card reading.
yeah, I forgot what was my past life was. Ew, I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, we'll have to have a private one for that. I definitely seen your galactic star seed though. That you were a galactic star seed, and I kept on reading you from another planetary. So yeah, you got like the planetary from your galactic side, and you also got the past. So people don't realize from their past life karmic, they also have karmic from their planetary. So, and you don't have to be just one planetary, you could be several planetaries, depending on how many lifetimes you came, you know? So I always call the galactic planetary one, if you have karmic, they're called, I always call it parasite debris. So we have to remove the karmic parasite debris from the astros. I go pretty deep on that, right?
Yep.
So, yeah. So I'm not sure if you're like on my regular page, if you're able to come through or not, but if not, then just push on our face and come over to our page. So we are just coming on and being available to you guys. So
I remember during that time we were outside a store in Juneau, downtown Juneau, because there's the valley and then there's downtown. A store called the Red Apple, and there's a liquor store right next to it and stuff. And it was fairly common for some of the homeless people to beg there. We got out, and we were pretty blessed in our business. And there was this gentleman that looked like he would look like a bum, and kind of hurting. I had like $10, and I just gave him the money, and I'm not sure. Tony was there, and she's like, "Well, he's just gonna go and buy alcohol or whatever." I'm like, "I don't care." We went in the store, and then I came right back out, and the guy was gone. He wasn't in the liquor store, and you could see down, and it was cold out and snowing and stuff, and he was just gone. And it talks about entertaining angels. That was pretty cool. It was like Tony had experience what with Enoch there in Sedona.
yeah, so we were in Sedona and we were going to the thrift store. We were getting some things there at the thrift store, and I seen a man look like he was homeless, and he had eyes that were piercing as in blue, hair that was wool, and his skin was like Ethiopian. And he came in and followed us to the thrift store, and I'm like, oh my God, Patrick, this is Enoch. This is Enoch. he's trying to look at me, and then I told you, I said, look, it's Enoch, and then he just disappeared in front of us, gone. It was amazing. And I think it was like another homeless person you were talking to before we entered into the store.
Yeah, it's happened a couple times with that.
I
We had
know.
a time while we were driving where we were supernaturally, we actually missed our exit because we were transported past the exit.
We just had that happen not too long ago too,
And
when we were driving from our son's house, and it was like all the clocks and stuff on our phones in our car, everything changed at a different time. And I was like, did you just feel like we were transported through a portal? Like all of a sudden we went through some kind of portal, right?
yep.
And it was weird because we were like, and I was like, why is our clock saying this? Why is it saying that? And then another time we had a time where we had all of our clocks and everything changed in our house, right?
Yeah.
And every single clock in the house was completely different.
From each other. It was wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild. So we have a lot of supernatural things.
I've seen people bounce like basketballs. Boom, 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 all kinds of stuff like that. It's kind of crazy what can happen.
Yeah. So all right, so we got like 5 or 10 more minutes, and then we're gonna sign off. I definitely felt something that came in, so I'm not too sure if I like that energy. Somebody like,
Want me to blow the shofar?
whatever you want to do. Maggie wants to know. We won't. We don't want to say.
It's very animated though, and
So we met 33 years ago, and it was good.
yeah,
So we were together. We knew that that it's almost like we knew each other, and it was meant to be, and that he's my soulmate. Although we went through the whole twin flame thing for a while, but then we become soulmates eventually. Well, we have 3 grown children and have 9 grandchildren, and we have a huge family. But
got
the
one
way we
hot
met
grandma,
was
and I'll tell you that.
the way that we met was kind of crazy, but we just kind of knew that we knew each other, and we've been together several lifetimes together. But yeah, I probably don't want to talk about how we met. So, but I will say that Patrick was a rock and roll star at the time. That he was almost famous, and uh, he was a performer of rock and roll and heavy metal.
I was hanging out with Alice in Chains and those guys, man.
Right.
Lane
So,
was a friend of mine. Jerry
and,
Cantrell,
and
Sean.
then they also like tried out for Ozzy Osbourne,
Yeah,
stuff like that. So, yeah, that's what kind of style we came from.
we were pretty hard. We weren't very spiritual. I guarantee you that.
So yeah, we weren't very spiritual. I mean, I knew I was called and I was supposed to do things, but I was fighting it and running for a while.
Yeah, but she's always man. We went through quite the process with Tony, because of her giftings, and She's very empathic too. Of course, now I am just by being around her. So
Or you just kind of awakened.
yeah, you know, when you get ministry, like I said, through from us, when you get any of our services, a lot of times impartations happen just because of the energy exchange. So you definitely will get more than you pay for. And that's good, you know, because we're all about love and light now, and people being healed and blessed. We want to see you whole. We want to see you moving into your highest good, and that's with the tools. You know, I talk about NLP and neuro linguistic programming because I'm a certified wellness practitioner. That means I'm certified in hypnotherapy and also life coaching, auricular therapy, toe reading. I'm certified in Reiki and Shefa. I'm Shefa master. That's a Hebrew, basically like Reiki energy, except it's using Hebrew symbols.
Well, it's a higher frequency. It's an
Yeah,
ancient,
yeah. I mean, I'm
very
not going to judge this or that, but bottom line, it does tend to be a little deeper than Reiki.
right.
Um, but that also comes with the intentions and the faith. I mean, there can be Reiki practitioners that really believe in themselves. That can be just as powerful as anything else. And that's it. Belief. Faith is the substance. Intention is the substance. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Intentions are is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen. It's the faith that shows you that it's there. It's that gift of faith that sometimes we get that we are certain. That's a gift of faith. That's not something you have. There's no reason to know it's there except that you've been given a gift of certainty. And just know that and be certain that you are here now listening to me to prosper. You are here now listening to me to heal. You are here now listening to me to tool up, right? To learn these tools like EFT, Google it, Emotional Freedom Tab. You can go to my page and book a session for 30 to 60 bucks, and I'll lead you through it. 5 minutes can change your life. If you have addictions, if you have paranoias, and those type of fears, unreasonable OCD stuff, EFT will straighten you out.
Also,
Okay.
I also seen other people that have severe like MS and stuff that have used EFT, and it's another form of removing.
Acupressure.
It's another form of removing stagnant energy from your meridians
Yes.
and reprogramming. So what I do, like in like my crystal high frequency bowls, reformatting, removing. I could do it with my giftings to remove stagnant energies and cords and generational. It goes back to past life to this life, et cetera, et cetera. But also like the Shefa is very powerful. It's what Patrick does. It's like ancient of codes, and that has been used through a long time through different cultures, not just Reiki, but Reiki is different. It's on a different level of energy. But yeah, so Patrick does tall readings too, which is very interesting. So uh, your life path can like tell your story in your toes. So
I'm
he
not
gets
even allowed legally to look at someone's feet for more than 30 seconds. I kid you
Yeah.
not.
So we used to have like we had a group readings with toes, and all these people would put their toes out there, but they got very emotional, and it was very accurate, very true.
It's not an entertaining form of ministry. It's not something you
Yeah.
want to do in front of anybody else because your toes show everything. Okay,
Yeah.
you can't hide if you were physically physically abused as a child, for example, or if there's any sexual stuff, man, it shows up. All that stuff shows up because the toes. If you look at the foot, and the Eastern culture is really good about this. A lot of Asian cultures and stuff have mapped this out. It coincides with your spine. You know, all the nervous system shows up in your toes and your feet, the way they bend, curl, the circulation, the knobs on the top of your toe, whether you have them or you don't, your nail. All
Right.
these different things mean stuff, and they're it's like profound, man. These ladies. So Tony mentioned that about doing a group. So I was doing this thing, and I graduated and such. We were here in Surprise, Arizona, and there's a friend of ours that was having an open house right around Christmas time too. Right around this time, that's funny. And so we stopped into the open house, and she knew I was doing this practitioner of the toe reading. And she had like I don't know 6 or 7 ladies, right? And there and their husbands. So the husbands were over eating the barbecue or whatever they had for food, and somehow they all gravitated to me because this friend of ours is like, "Hey, Patrick does toe reading, and this
I
is gonna be
said it,
fun."
didn't
And she didn't understand that it's soul coaching and very intimate things come out. Now I don't say what they are because I get intuitively too beyond the toe reading. It's a tool, right? It's a touchstone. It's a starting place for soul coaching. And I started coaching. One lady show we started with one, and within like a couple minutes, I started explaining what I seen in her feet, and she started just weeping. And the next lady go. They all were crying, and the guys are looking over. I thought I was going to get my butt kicked because all their wives are like crying.
I, I was like, whoa.
It was deep. It
So
was not,
yeah.
it's not an entertaining form of ministry. You want to be private, really, with a Torah reading because, and I'm never going to reveal the stuff that's going to embarrass you. I may ask you a question, right? I always try to, and that goes for any time during ministry. And Tony does this too. She'll ask you a question. It's because we already know the answer, okay? And we want you to acknowledge the answer. And it doesn't help nobody, very few people receive it when you say, well, you got this problem and you need to stop it. No, you have to ask them a question. You have to get them engaged and thinking about the fact it's like, yeah, actually, I think I do have that. And then, you have to come through your own awakening, right? I can tell you what's going on in your life and I can tell you why. And I can tell you the end product of it. That's not going to do you any good, man. That's like, you know, sitting in an automatic car that's driving for you. You don't have to do anything, and that don't work. I mean, that's not a good allegory because really, if someone does, it just tells you you don't receive it. It's surface level at best. You might listen to my words, and I could tell you, listen, you're emotionally troubled because of this, that, and the other, and you have some past life wounds, and blah blah blah, and you're just like, really? Do I really? Or I can say, hey, do you feel this? And what do you do when this happens? And I ask the important questions, the questions that'll make you think, you know, because if you listen to all the spiritual teachers like Yoda, I kid you not, Yoda from Star Wars, yes, he asked the question, Benobi, and all those guys. And if you even talk to like, Buddhism and like the Dalai Lama, he will ask you a question. He's not going to tell you. He'll ask you. And that's like infuriating to some people because they just want an answer. It's like when you're dealing with a real spiritual oracle, okay, someone who speaks from the spirit, they're not going to tell you. They're going to ask you and get you to that place through your own self awareness.
But for me, I don't ask questions.
Yeah, you do. I've heard you ask questions. What are you talking about? I mean,
Well, for like if somebody wants a reading stuff, I don't ask them anything. They don't. They just show
oh
up.
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no, no. Yeah, Tony will
Oh,
tell you your questions. So I'm talking about when you get to a place in your ministry and you're like, well, what do you think about this?
oh
So,
yeah.
and maybe you don't, but I do. I try to find those questions.
So another thing too is I can give a complete reading for somebody, and then they're like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no," and then later on in the reading, they start talking about it and saying this and this and that. I was like, "Well, that's what I said at the very beginning of this reading, did I not? I mean, you said you didn't have this and this and that, but then now you're saying that you have it because you forgot it or you didn't want to acknowledge it. But
Or they
then,
were blind to it. They're just
yeah,
blind to it.
so
You understand?
so
You
it's
can't
funny
see.
because some things don't resonate until afterwards, or they start speaking and I listen to them. I'm like, well, that's what I just said at the very beginning of our session. So back to the feet thing, Patrick, when he does his feet, he like tells them what he sees in their toes and their nails and the calluses and all that stuff. and they're like, yes, 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 that's true, that's true. And then he says, this is what I feel like you're to do, you know. And then when your toes, if they're like crooked or they're going a certain way, then you start dealing with those emotions after you have a toe reading and releasing all that stuff. Then the toes change. They change and they look straight forward or they start looking to the right or something.
They move.
Yeah, they move. And it's just
Sometimes they
crazy.
move when I'm talking about it, just because the
Yeah.
people are getting it.
And they're holding that energy or something. But all I know is that I've seen their toes transform, and then their life started. Then they were travailing or releasing sorrow and deepness and all that stuff, and then their toes completely changed. So your toes can change monthly. You know, if you're willing to deal with the circumstance or what is causing it, right?
Yep.
So, but yeah, it's very. I know people don't like toes, but so now, Patrick, you know, and I, we look at toes, but they don't realize that when we look at their toes, we can actually see their life story.
Hey, I listen, and
But
I just
we
find
don't
my
do that. We don't do it without permission. But if
yeah, and I don't. I'm not going to tell you about someone that you don't know,
right.
that you're not associated with. A lot of people want to know their thoughts and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
I'm a
that's another
mind
reason.
reader, but if I don't have that person's permission to give you that kind of information, I'm not going to give you that information. I can give you an idea of their energy, but I'm going to respect their privacy. Listen, you can't just go poke your head into everybody's business just because you know a psychic. You know what I mean?
Right,
And
right.
that psychic should have that standard. A lot of them don't, and they'll just blab their mouth. And it's
No,
like, listen, this stuff, it's not for you. Some stuff we're just not meant to know.
and we can't also do a lot of healing. We can't do other things on another person without their permission,
Right.
unless that they're saying, "Okay, I want this," you know. But I can't do any of that. I can't really read too much. But it's really funny how a lot of people think that we should be able to read their minds, or how is he thinking of me, or how does he love me? Does he love me?
Oh, I
You know,
love what's he thinking right now?
what's he
He's
thinking right now?
He's
It's
a
like,
man. If it's a man, we're talking about masculine. He's probably in his nothing box. I highly recommend. Okay, I don't know if Maggie's still on and then, but go check out "Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage." Jordan, it'll crack you. It's hilarious. This guy is so
Jordan's
funny.
not in
It
a
tells you
relationship.
about men and it tells you about the way women think. And this guy is so funny the way he puts it.
Oh.
Yeah, it comes out of a Christian kind of, but he doesn't even focus on that. He's just focusing on the psychology. And men have nothing boxes, okay, ladies? We have a place that we can just go to and we can still breathe, but we're not thinking about nothing. So, and women, they don't have a nothing box. And women want to get into your nothing box and decorate it. And, I'm going to put some flowers over here. And you're like, no, it's my nothing box. Get out, go away. So, and another thing about men, I'll tell you, ladies, is we have all other boxes. We have our nothing box, and then we have our fishing box. We have our work box. We have our person of interest, our love, my Tony. I have my Tony box. But guess what? None of the boxes touch. Okay? You can't touch the boxes. You don't mix the boxes. Now, women, they don't have no boxes. Everything is connected. I'm connected to the dog that was barking at the next door neighbor on the show and the drama she was watching last night, which is connected to what she was talking to her sister about, which obviously was connected to something on the news. Women can do that. Men don't. They cannot. They don't function. Now, that's a general statement. Watch it. It's called "Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage." I don't do it justice, but I tell you what, even if you just rest, it'll crack you up.
And
It's
if you want to have a good relationship, it's probably a good thing to actually watch with your spouse.
or just watch it yourself, just to kind of figure out the opposite sex a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, it's really good. And I can actually do this as a presentation when we're teaching about this. I can bring that on that clip for people to see next time, but we'll have to do that. But
It is. Funny, man.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
maybe
Jordan
check
said,
out that way. If you can't sleep, YouTube, laugh your way to a better marriage. You won't be disappointed. It is funny.
and it's long though. You got to watch it from the very beginning.
It's a
But
several day
Jordan,
conference actually that they recorded, and it's all free. They give it on YouTube, and
so Jordan says there is a part of me that wants to do the feet reading. You want to learn it, or you want to have a foot reading? Maggie said that she's still here, and it's like probably 5 in the morning where she's at. She stayed up all night to watch us.
Aw. So hopefully you're enjoying the
So,
guitar
so
work,
so
especially
now
if
we
you're
have
looking
like,
for private work on our pages. Patrick Holmes Sozo on Facebook, Tony the Global Healer, and also
okay, so here's Maggie. I've been single.
it's all about timing. But check it out; that'll empower you, Maggie, for dealing with a guy, and gives you some tools. Gives women some tools dealing with men, and it
And
gives men.
understanding,
What's
yes,
that?
understanding men. Uh,
Yes, and men understanding women. Listen,
yes,
the guy makes a comment. He says, "Listen, men are men. They are not broke. You don't need to fix us. Okay, we are men. Okay, and that's that we just have a different way of thinking about stuff and a different way. Like
yes,
for example, give you some context here. Okay, laundry needs to be done. Let's say, and we both do. But I decide to go do the laundry, but I do it because I'm tired. Whatever. I just feel like doing the laundry. It has nothing to do with Tony. And Tony finds out that I did the laundry. She's excited because now she don't have to do it. But she finds out I didn't do it because to relieve her from doing it, I did it for my own selfish reasons, and she gets mad about that. She's like, "Well, he should have did it because he loves me," kind of thing. It's like, listen, that's sometimes we do stuff like that we do stuff out of love, and sometimes as men we do it out of practicality or whatever. But who cares why? If you're being blessed by something that we're due, just accept that. Don't try to do the psychological thing on us. You're not doing it because you love me. You're doing it just because you want to do it. It's like, well,
so,
yeah,
so on that aspect, he just used me as a metaphor because I'm not like that.
no, no. See
But
that,
because I don't like, I'm like, woo, thank you so much for doing the laundry. I appreciate it.
listen, when I do dishes all the
Our
time.
dishes,
Laundry,
it's like,
we take care
nice.
of each other. I don't expect Tony to do
So
that. Hey,
you have to be 50-50. And the thing is everything's got to be open and on the table. We share accounts, we share this, we share that, social media. If you're in love with that person, you shouldn't have an issue or problem. If you want to be married 33 years, you've got some good teachers here for relationships. Okay. We've had our ups and downs. It's not always perfect, but 33 years is a long time with this generation and this time of the world. So yeah, so we have a lot of, teachings, and we may have like a class for people that want to have a relationship or in a relationship and they need help. So I think that'll be a good thing for us since we have so much experience. And that's why I think that, if you're an intuitive reader or if you're a reader in general, you should have an experience and have that knowing to help other people. Now, if you're doing relationship readings and you're having issues having a relationship or finding a relationship, that's not a good thing. I'm just saying it's not good because you're trying to like do something that you're wishing and hoping to have, and it's just that you don't have that experience in order to help other people with relationships. Am
yeah,
I right?
absolutely. You got to live it. A lot of stuff you got to live. You can learn the psychology behind stuff, but it's really about a personal experience. Um,
Exactly. Experience.
I don't want to look at your page. Well, we're going to be done here shortly anyway, Maggie. I got to fix some dinner.
Yeah, we're eating late. We came on late. It's our choice, but I don't know. I guess we're just supposed to come on and talk and meet Jordan. He gave us a payment right off the bat. It's
Bless
like,
Jordan. That really
but
blesses.
he wants a foot reading. So, Jordan, if you want a foot reading, you can inbox Patrick, and he'll tell you what you have to do, as in like how to place your feet, how to take a picture of it and send it. And it is a session, so you know, it's yeah, it's interesting.
An actual thing.
It's an actual thing. It's just like an intuitive reading, but it's with your feet. I think also it could tell you from your past life too, in a way. But I'll let Patrick do that, um, on that aspect. But
No, no, you would be better for the past life because for me to do past life, I do what's called a past life regression for you,
mhm.
and that's fine. That's no problem. It takes about an hour to 2 hours to go through the process, and sometimes it takes more than one session just because you're getting used to the induction, the relaxation.
So some people ask, well, why do people need to have a past life regression? Well, that is because
Okay,
let me start first.
okay.
Because if you have attachments, or if you're going through anxiety, or it just everything started happening, or if you just can't, there's a lot of theory on that. We need to find the root cause. So I'll just stop with that and let Patrick continue on.
Okay, for example, here's a testimony. A guy, he's a firefighter, he's 32 years old, perfect health all his life. He turns 32, and all of a sudden, he just has a massive pain in his neck.
Yeah,
Goes to the doctors, x rays, MRIs, nothing. There is no sign of anything wrong with his neck, but he is in serious pain. I mean, it's
yeah.
not good. And so through one channel or another, he finds out about past life regression, and he goes through the process. And if comes to find out, he had been beheaded in his past life at 32 years old. That's when it happened. So when he turned 32, there was cell memory. Okay, it's called cellular memory transferred down from your former life. So let's say you had breathing problems in a past life. You may
Hmm.
have asthma in this life. Maybe you were had eating problems, like you were obese in a past life. In this life, you can't keep nothing down. You're bulimic. You
What
know,
happens, like, for instance, if you're scared to go over a bridge, or something like that. There's this
your
fear,
eyes.
but you don't know why you're having that fear. Or
I can't get
you
into
have a
salt
fear.
water, man.
Wait, and if you have a
Go ahead.
fear of flying or something, but you never flew, but so you don't know, and it's because there was something there in the past life that you went through traumatically, that you passed away and came back. So yeah, so we get to the root causes of everything that's to do with past life. Patrick does the past life regression, but he also does where, like for me, I could do the same thing, but I do it different. But he does where he helps you meet your angels and or your guides, or he takes you into a life between life session, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's the time you spend in between your incarnations. There's a
Yeah.
time, right? You reconnect with your soul group. You go through life review of the life you just lived. You choose what you're going to do next. All those kind of things. It's pretty wild. That's a 2.5 hour plus event. That takes some time and investment in time, and doing some inductions and working with each other. Same with the past life. But it's just instead of going to the past life, we stop in between lives. And it's like, whoa, and not a lot of people even know about that kind of stuff.
And so past life too, another thing is when I do my sessions is that, oh my God, I see four of them, or I see five, or I see seven doors. And then I go down each avenue and I could tell you what you look like, what year it is, what it feels like, what your destination is, what contract you signed, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sure Patrick can also with his hypnotherapy, but it's pretty interesting because I go into a total, like a almost like a trance, and I'm entering into that time zone, like a time warp.
Yeah, you know, Edgar Casey talks about this stuff, and that's why he ministered too. He'd go in trance, called trance.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he would put himself in a hypno state. Hypno is focus, extreme focus that causes you to relax. God sleep is technically the
Because I,
translation of
when I
hypno.
when I get into that door for that person and when I read for them, I just go into it and I'm a total different person on that time and I'm seeing everything for them, which is pretty interesting. And they're like feeling it too. Then it starts coming to them, and then it's positive or it's negative, and then we take off the negative energy from it and release the positive, so
So
that okay.
let me touch on that. So as soon as the firefighters looked at that, he seen that he was 32 when he got decapitated. The pain went away. So that's the whole point of looking at your past life is to maybe examine to see if you're carrying forward any scars or trauma, mental, emotional trauma. And as soon as you look at it, it goes away.
Yeah, so like then what I do is I take that energy and I remove that negative and bring forth the positive, and then they have that positive, and then everything starts to come together into this life. All their giftings or whatever they had that's positive starts to be one in this life. So like if they never were a musician in this life and then we found out they were a musician in their last life, then we bring that forth into this life. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so then they start like speaking different languages or all that stuff. So it's pretty
Oh
interesting.
yeah.
People are like, "Oh, I don't want a past life." Well, maybe that's because you can't find a relationship. Maybe you can't be in a relationship that long because there's something in your past life that's blocking it.
Yep.
You know?
It's called karma, and karma is real. And then there's dharma. Now, a lot of people mistake. They're like, you see those videos that are, immediate karmic, immediate karma kind of thing where they slam into some. No, that's dharma. That's not karma. And it might be karma from a former life, yes. But, there's an energy present right now called dharma. Okay. And dharma is everything you're sowing in this life. So let's say I give to a homeless person or something, and that's dharma seed I sowed. It's also karmic, but it's dharma. So that energy will come back to this life in a good way. And so something
So,
to think
so
about.
Jordan was saying this. I was going to make this point before he said it, but some people in their past life come back with a birthmark.
I
Like
have
sometimes they have a
son
birthmark
has the
on
same
their
one, and my
face.
grandson has the same one too. Same birthmark.
Yeah. So like he says, I have a heart-shaped one on my thigh. Well, so there is a reason for that for when you come back to this life for that. Um, there's a lot of theory, a lot of interesting things. Unless we do one-on-one sessions with people, they don't even really realize. What about attachments from aliens or abductions, and what about the trauma that perhaps somebody went through when they were in the womb of their mother, and the mother that was like really abused or tormented or she was raped, that energy also comes forth into this life. So we take you back into your womb and we help that healing that memory cell and to remove that energy. So there's past life, and then there's also the the conceiving part, from the family. And so there's lots of layers that people don't understand, why they're having this, why they're having that, or there's generational, or, you have to go into the whole generation too.
And
It's
also talking about genetics too, not just generational, but yeah, that's right. You're right.
absolutely, Maggie, you have a choice to come back. Or, well, in some situations. Now, if you didn't fulfill what you were supposed to have fulfilled in this life, then you may have to come back to do that. But if you fulfilled that in which you're supposed to be doing, and you go on, you have a choice to say, okay, I want to be the earth angel for my family, or I want to cross over and come back again, or I don't want to. So yeah, but if you haven't fulfilled what you're supposed to be as contracted, because when I had my near death experience, when I went on to the other side, I seen people and children, and they were all waiting in line with a paper. And on this paper was their new mission to come back to Earth. And so it had to get stamped, and you had to like go through a life review, as in like, are you sure you want to do this, kind of thing. So they had choices. They lined up to come back to Earth. um, and then there are some people that actually have a choice to be your guide, your earth angel, etc. So yeah, so yeah, that's pretty interesting. And I've seen it, and it was like, wow.
So Maggie, yeah, right now your perspective, and I'm with you. I'll be like, man,
She's so
this place is hard, man. So I get you, but your perspective changes because energy never ceases to be. It only changes form. So when you
yeah,
leave this shell, this avatar, right?
yeah.
This avatar that you're in right now, in this expression, this 3D reality that you're in, you're gonna all of a sudden know everything. Like serious. Like why do zebras have stripes? Holy shit. I know why zebras have stripes now. I know why the sky is blue. I'm serious. All that stuff, perception changes. And now you're like, you see the value of the soul, lessons of the soul. Even though you're in a place, and I don't understand this, and I can't say I even agree with it in the sense of why it exists, but I know it exists. And I know it's real. And I know it's to bring us to a development as a being of light, because you're a spiritual being having a human experience. You're not a human being having a spiritual experience. You're a spirit. You're a spiritual being having a human experience because you are here to learn something about loss,
Something that we don't really,
maybe
something.
prosperity, maybe poverty. I mean, who knows? But they all have more value than we can understand on the spiritual plane.
So although, people did, we are actually chosen from God, because this is like the hardest mission for human race, the ones that were chosen to be here. So, we were chosen, and also we agreed, and which I'm like, I don't agree with this. I want to go right now. So whatever this great mission is like, we are high priest and priestess, and we were chosen to come to this earthly plane, to do whatever we're supposed to do. Um, Anyways, the thing is like, it's hard. It has been hard, and hopefully we all come to a where everybody is able to go to back to our planetaries, or go back to wherever we came from in the regions before planet Earth.
Yeah.
you know, because it's crazy. It's almost like we're living on hell on Earth. Just saying. So, what'd she say? Love that you're just so normal to listen to all day and night. Thank you so much, Maggie. Have you been on our shows before? Are you new here? Because do you remember Maggie, Patrick? Or
I remember, yeah, she's in Scotland, I believe. Yes, I've
oh,
heard her before, I'm pretty sure.
I know that there is a list of chosen people. Yeah, so there is a list of a lot of. I always said this is hell.
I
Exactly.
hear you. Yeah, in a lot of ways, you're correct because hell comes out of the Roman idea. It comes out of the worship of Zeus, and that stuff. It was not from Jesus. If you know anything about Jewish people, they don't have a belief in an eternal hell. Okay, they actually believe in reincarnation, and the ones that have done any study of the Torah, the Tanakh, the Tanakh is the book of prophets. Okay, you have Psalms, and then the book of Tanakh. You have the Torah, which is the first five books, And anybody who knows who they are as a Jewish person understands that, yeah, there's a place called Hades. It's it could be as long as a lifetime, let's say, right? A place of judgment, but it's not eternal. And Jesus, that wasn't the focus of his sacrifice. The sacrifice was to bring the kingdom of God on earth like it is in the heavens. So instead of like the standard way of thinking of on earth as it is in heaven, think of the kingdom of God on earth as it is in the heavens. That means miracles. That means manifesting what you need when you need it. That means love, forgiveness, mercy, grace. I mean, that
Not
joy.
only that, though, the heavens is also our vortexes and our meridians, and it's the different levels and energy. That's how I see it. Bringing and opening that up. So it's like you go through one, you pass that, then you go to another one, you pass that, and you open that whole realm
That's
up.
right. That's right.
So the thing is, it's like bringing that purity, that Shekinah side of God, that holiness, that love, that forgiving, healing up from past wounds, karmic wounds, galactic wounds. That's our whole mission, is that we're here to learn, but we're also people that are, like from the golden age or whatever, sent to help people to heal up, sent to help people to move forward and get out of where they are, and to move past this whole testing process, so that they can actually learn to love themselves. Before you can love others, you need to love yourself and forgive yourself. So it's all about forgiveness, loving, giving, and doing what you're supposed to do for the holy of holies. I say, uh, that's what I get. But we're learning as we go. Anybody and everybody on this planetary Earth, even dogs, even cats, even animals, we live and learn. Um, we are constantly learning, and so that we are in constant school. So on different levels, right?
Yes, I completely agree with that, And so if you would like to book a private session with us, let us know. Contact us on our Facebook pages. It'd be
Yeah.
cool if you could find me on YouTube, Patrick Sozo on YouTube, and subscribe and like some videos there. That would be very cool.
So Patrick Sozo is on Instagram, and he's on Facebook as Patrick Sozo as the wellness, and he's on YouTube, and I think that's about it, right?
Yes.
Um, and then me too. I'm on YouTube, Tony the Global Healer, and you're on my page as Tony the Global Healer, and on Instagram, Tony the Global Healer, Twitch, etc., etc. Just put Tony the Global Healer, and you'll find me on Google. Okay. I did kind of switch my name to uh, Sacred Psychic Tony as the Global Healer and Medium. So you guys go to our page, look under the services, also look at testimonies. And if you would like to book sessions with us, we're very low on our prices right now, because I used to charge a lot more. Just ask for the prices. And we have also, we have our own program, so that if we do a private live video session, it's just between the two of us. Um, we record that for you, so that you can be sent that, so that you can watch the video over and over again. Another thing too is that I do group mediumship. So if you're having a birthday party, a Christmas party, if you're wanting to buy a gifting for everybody, I can fit up to 6 to 10 people for a mediumship and also intuitive reading, and that will be the comfort of your home or the comfort of their homes. And just let me know if there's a group that's interested. I offer that as group session reading for a good 1 or 2 hours, I think it is, pre-recorded again, so that everybody has their own recordings and live, and so that they can go over it. And if I see a loved one or healing, so they will remember it because it's a lot of things that they have to soak up that people just kind of miss through the whole thing, and so they could watch it again and say, oh my God, now it resonates, now it makes sense. So that's why I'm offering, 6 to 10 people, uh, get your sister or family together, friends or whatever, pitch in for this and book it so we can sell the tickets or whatever. And it's going to be amazing. It's very amazing, very powerful. And it's going to be Patrick and I again to do our different intuitiveness, different mediumship, etc., etc. So yeah, so again, thank you for sticking with us. Blessings to Maggie because she stayed with us the whole time, and it's really early. What did she say? Sounds great. We are in for a full lockdown on Boxing Day. Full lockdown on Boxing Day. Wow. Yeah, so they're talking about that too, all around here too. So we'll see. All we could do is just pray energy and just focus on the energy of love and healing on the globe. Do that. Look at the globe, pray over the globe for all the people and healing and release that. That's what we need to do. But hopefully everything starts getting better here soon. But this world we're in. We, but we just entered into the Aquarius energy. And the Star of what? Star of Bethlehem and all this great stuff. So yeah, so just keep hope, dreams, and just keep on your light, bringing positive energy into you, affirmations, saying it over you, even if you have to put it on things around your house, something like that. Anyway, all right. So book sessions with us. Either way, if you want one with my husband, let me know, or you can go on his page and let him know. Okay. What does it say? Just got to keep safe. Yes. Amen.
Yes, be safe.
Absolutely.
Wash
And
your
Megan, thank you
hands.
so much. She just joined us. She came on once before for a free card reading, and then this is her second time, so that's good. All right, so we're gonna go because it's past the time, and as we've been on for 2 hours. So let me get to this. Hold on a second. Anything else you want to say, Patrick?
Yeah, I say Shema Shalom. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy
Be
Hanukkah.
safe.
And thank you so much for listening to us. Let us know how we may help you. We're here to serve. All right. Bless you guys.